Folks, welcome to the Crossing Swords Intermission Report brought to you by Manscaped. I'm Maniac, joined by Dwayne, Dewey Crocs, and Rob Ryan. Folks, stop me if you've heard this one before. The Sabres trail after one. I mean, Dwayne, it feels like they play an even period to start out, or a little bit, get a little thrust going, and then just situational hockey, and the Islanders capitalize.
Oh, man. It's wild, man. They just look so much better with the puck. You know, their transition game through the neutral zone. We're not touching them at all. I mean, there's shot attempts. We're losing in shot attempts right now, 27-11 after one period. That is absolutely insane. Like, that just shows how bad they were that period. And then that second goal, I mean, like, I know I tried to say, like, here's a good opportunity to see if Jonas Johansson has what it takes to, like, hang around in this league. You let shots in like that, you might as well go back to the ECHL. Get off my hockey team.
And I know two people that are not displeased about that first period. Goals from Dobson and Martin, Dewey and Rob. I mean, that's Islanders hockey. Can you get a better Islanders period than that? 2-0. I mean, that's basically like Alabama putting up 50 in a first half.
Nah, and you know what? We're up 2-0, and now we can bore you guys to death with playing some defensive style Isles hockey. It is what it is.
Time to shell up. Someone call them the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to talk about. 2-0. There was the Sabres just weren't there. It was the kid show again, and then the old guy. So not much to talk about there.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Martin's still letting Sidney know who's boss. Shove it, Boomer.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I don't want to sound pathetic, but, like, do you guys feel, like, guilty playing the Sabres?
No, we'll take the points.
No, this team doesn't. This team usually overthinks these kinds of teams in the past years, so it's kind of nice to be leading against one of the bottom dwellers for a change.
Now, let me just say this. Tavares leaves the Islanders. The Islanders got stronger. The Islanders got better. So there's talk about, the Sabres potentially losing superstars. Dwayne, you got Skinner talking about, like, his clause. You got Eichel talk, which will never go away. I'm not saying that's what needs to happen. I'm just talking about it as a point. I mean, where is going to be the rallying point for this team, Dwayne? We were watching last night. We were watching Rob Ray, Plant, all of them, and they were fighting for each other. They were battling for each other, and that's just not happening with this team right now.
Rob Ray said it best in the room. Like, you have to be willing as teammates to hold each other accountable and, not be afraid to be criticized. And I think that's one of the biggest issues of this hockey team is it can't come from one person. It doesn't have to, just because he's wearing the C doesn't mean it has to come from Jack Eichel. You don't have to have a letter on your jersey to be able to, like, stand up and hold your teammates accountable. And one of the things Ray said was, none of us were afraid to be criticized, and we didn't take it personally because we knew it was for the betterment of the team. And I think that's what needs to happen in that locker room. People need to start standing up, whether even Dylan Cousins, he dropped the gloves last game, and there really isn't much carryover right now to this game from that, any momentum, nothing. But, you got to be willing to stand up and call out your teammates. Say, hey, Okposo, you're slow, you're a slug. Go home. Not that, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just like you got to be able to not call your teammates out, but be able to criticize each other and not feel bad for doing it, and B, not take it personally because it's for the betterment of the team.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. And I mean, obviously it begins and ends with the coach. I mean, the Islanders fans we got in here, you guys were fired up when he got Trotz, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he came off winning that Stanley Cup with Washington, and I'm pretty sure we gave him the same amount of money that they offered him in the same term, as far as, like, signing coaches and stuff. But, yeah, bringing in that whole we pretty much changed house coming in with Lou Lamoriello and Barry Trotz in the same summer.
And let me just tell you something. It kills me to be doing this on an intermission show. This is basically a podcast-type talk of the Sabres state of the franchise right now. But, Dwayne, when the team gets outshot 18-6 and they're down 2-0 after a run period, I don't feel like I got any room to go.
Yeah, I like to see a little bit of fire there from Montour at the end of the period, but I mean, if Dylan Cousins not dummying somebody last game isn't going to get it done, then I don't know, man. Like maybe this team just needs a significant trade, a face leaving that you wouldn't expect to see leave, and just a shakeup. You really need. I hate saying it, but you really need some real jam and grit in that locker room to really get these kids' faces and just say, hey, like this is a privilege. This is an absolute privilege. Like JJ Watt said at the end of the season, the NFL season, like it's a privilege to be here. This is like the greatest job in the world, and you guys need to start showing up or don't even show up to the rink.
Very fair. Hey, greatest sport in the world and greatest fans in the world. Shout out to everybody watching the first intermission show for Crossing Swords. I mean, guys, I don't know what more to say. I mean, if you're the Islanders, it's like you said, Dewey. I mean, I feel like we're about to watch 40 minutes of just the shell game and not the fun shell game where an item is under a shell and they move a bunch of them and you got to tell which one it is. It's literally just going to be dump and chase, and then they're going to be they're going to be defending that blue line like Jon Snow in the Night's Watch defended the wall.
It's a tough hill to climb. When you are down against the Islanders, whether at any point in the game, regardless of the lead. But the Islanders gave up 2 goals against the Penguins in a matter of maybe 12 to 15 seconds a few games ago. So news to say you guys can't do it.
The Sabres are so pathetic that we have Dewey Crocs trying to rally the blue and gold here in a game against his own team. Dewey Crocs would literally dive in front of a train if it meant that the Islanders got a point. And he's talking about the Sabres trying to come back in this game. That is how far the Sabres have fallen.
You guys are I feel like you guys are just demoralized at this point. I mean, it's tough.
I can't yell anymore. I can't.
That's why I'm taking the baton for you. I feel like you're worn down, so I'm going to take it over. I just tagged in on the yelling.
It's just I don't know. I mean, we all see it. Like, why is Dylan Cousins the guy who took a step forward as a leader on your third line with Toby Reeder and I think Jeff Skinner? Why is Kyle Okposo for the 3rd game in a row on your second line? He can't keep up. On that first goal, he was the last man back. He can't keep up. He can't get back into play. He's not quick enough to back check in transition. Like, he doesn't belong in the NHL anymore. Does he even have a single point this season?
Like, and with Dwayne reaching a crescendo, we have the second period action returning to play. So we will wind it down here. Thank you for watching the first intermission show, Crossing Swords. Folks, of course, as always, presented by Manscaped. Make sure you are getting your Manscaped. Make sure you're taking care of business in more ways than one. And of course, the way to do that is to make sure you're taking care of those nether regions. Go to manscaped.com, Trainwreck, promo code for 20% off and free shipping. We'll see what happens in the second period. Islanders, Sabres. There's no gabagool in the second period. The Sabres are coming for blood. Well, wait, what's Castle Hawthorne got to say? He's garbage. Let's go. Let's go, Sabres. Let's go, Islanders. Let's have a healthy second period. Let's go,